Dungeons and Dragons! So what is this video about? It's about turning D&D's core player classes into cocktails. The Barbarian. And there you have your bard, the Cleric. Without further ado, I'd like to rage. That has awakened something in me. I hope you weren't hoping for tasting notes on that, and I'm too drunk to have any more of a preamble. I'm a College of Eloquence bard, can't you tell? The odds of this working are like 0, but that snaps it all together. That legitimately might be one of the best things I have ever made. Dungeons and Dragons! I am quite the fan of Dungeons and Dragons. Could you tell? And since I have no friends to play it with, I figured the next best thing to do would be to do what I do best. Drink it! Does that make sense? It does to me, but I have a problem. So what is this video about? Well, apparently, since you didn't read the title, it's about turning D&D's core player classes into cocktails. More accurately, 3 of the classes, because after the Hollow Stars video, I can't do that many cocktails in one video again, and considering D&D has 12 classes, more drinks than that. So, if you'd like to see this turned into a series to ensure that you see your favorite class turned into a drink, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things, and especially share this with everybody you know who loves a good old game of D&D. Or Baldur's Gate 3, or the movie. That movie's pretty good, actually. I like it. Not that movie, that one. That one's good. And now comes the part of the video where it sounds like I'm kind of stalling, and admittedly, I kind of am. You'll see why. But first of all, I slicked my hair back like Gale Baldur's Gate 3. I cannot see how well it's working in my tiny little preview screen. So you're gonna have to tell me how well that turned out. And it's gonna be really annoying to have to keep doing this the entire video. Because also, I would have worn my Dark Magician cardigan to kind of finish off the Gale aesthetic, but this is the most I can get away with, sort of Barbarian, I guess, and I'm still sweating to death. And lastly, but most importantly, this video is heavily inspired by these 2 books, Dungeon Meister, a Drink Master's Guide, and Puncheons and Flagons, the official Dungeons and Dragons cocktail book. Both of them are very good, and I've made videos on both of them, which you should go check out if you end up enjoying this one. Alright, without further ado, I need to move all this shit and get drinking. Pegada lives up here now. Now we are going to handle these classes in everybody's favorite order, alphabetical. Which means first up is probably my favorite class, the Barbarian. Look, I like complex stuff, I like reading rules, that's why I like tabletop RPGs. That being said, there's just such a fun attraction to getting to play a character that just, you get angry, you hit shit, it's fantastic. I love a barbarian, and when they're big strong ladies, I love a barbarian, what can I say? The Barbarian is everybody's favorite character at the table, because they're just fun. They're fun to play, they're fun to play with. I don't know what to tell you, I love the Barbarian. Now there are a few ways you could take the Barbarian in terms of a drink. For example, Dungeon Meister's version is basically just a hyper fucked up Long Island iced tea with more of each kind of alcohol plus a bunch of liqueurs topped with Red Bull, which is to say something that would probably just kill you. Or you could go the route that I went, which is really simple. Because at some point, I thought of a cocktail that is just so perfect, so spot on, I couldn't move past it. And I promise the other drinks in this series will be original, cool takes on cocktails. The other 2 in this video are that. But at some point, my brain just said boilermaker, and I couldn't get past it. Because what else is a barbarian? When you're not in combat, what are you thinking of the barbarian doing? The answer is almost invariably at the inn, chugging a bunch of alcohol, making strong con saves. Everything about it just made sense from a mechanical standpoint, a spiritual standpoint, an aesthetic standpoint. A boilermaker, for those who don't know, is a glass of beer with a shot of whiskey or bourbon that you drop inside. And once you drop it inside, it starts to bubble up, and it warms you up real quick and fucks you up real fast. What could be more perfect than that? This is the rage bubbling up inside of you. It is a dead simple drink for a dead simple class, and try chugging one of these and not feeling like you're ready to punch a hole through concrete. That's a boilermaker. That's a barbarian. I'm sorry. Again, I promise, everything else in these videos will be cool and unique. Probably, I hope. I don't know, I've only made 3 of them and this is one. I'll try my best. What I'm saying is, the barbarian is a boilermaker. At the very least, I did buy this Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold beer because something about this had to be D&D themed. It is 11% ABV. That's really fucking high for a beer and perfect for what we're doing. So we're gonna start by pouring our beer into the glass. This is definitely gonna overflow. That's kind of the point. And now for the bourbon. Gosh, if only there was a whiskey/bourbon brand that was themed after Dungeons and Dragons and collabed with, I don't know, something like Critical Role. That's a famous D&D thing. If only that existed and has a blend right now that's themed after one of the classes that would be in the next video and would maybe want to send me some. Gosh, if only that existed. Wink wink, nudge nudge, quest end. The odds of this working are like 0. I would have bought a bottle for this video, but A, the turnaround between when I thought of this idea and I'm recording it was too short for me to order one, and B, can't ship liquor to Kentucky anyways. Why? Why can't we do that? This is the home of bourbon. Why can't I get liquor shipped to me? You know, you still can't buy alcohol until after 1 p.m. on a Sunday here. 1 shot of bourbon. We're doing Old Forester because I don't think it really matters, guys. It's a boilermaker. Pick the beer and bourbon of your choice. Without further ado, I'd like to rage. I might have dropped that from too high up. Hey, that's what a barbarian's all about, though. I hope you weren't hoping for tasting notes on that. It's a boilermaker. That was beer and bourbon. Whoo! I am going to be boiling alive here in a minute, more than I already am. Oh my god, that woke me up. That hits you instantly. You know, like that joke about when someone gets drunk, they're like, let's run. I want to go for a run. We should run somewhere. I'm getting there. Wow, can you hear it? Holy shit. I swear, I'm not doing a bit. Like, that has awakened something in me. I am resistant to all forms of damage. Woo! Holy shit. Okay, again, there's no tasting notes. It's beer and it's bourbon. That's how you drink it. That's what you do. That is not for the faint of heart. That is not for the people with a low con score. That is a real barbarian's drink. Woo! Try handing that to a wizard. Watch him pass out in an instant. I gotta do 2 more drinks. I gotta do 2 more drinks like this. How did it do that to me? I'm so amped up. All right, that's the barbarian. That's the boilermaker. That's what you do. That's how you make it. That's how you drink it. Bard time. Let's go to the bard. Alrighty, now that I am in a rage, let's try to make 2 more drinks. Oh, I legitimately didn't think it was gonna hit me this hard. I'm having a great time. And now, because we said we were going in alphabetical order, and so we go from the class, which I was sort of kind of born with a level in. I have boiling anger inside of me at all times. That's a story for my therapist and not a D&D video, though. To the class, which arguably I kind of grew into. And by that I mean the bard. No. We're not doing that. Bards can be a lot more than musicians. Never forget, William Shakespeare is the bard, and he was a writer. He wrote plays. So yes, a bard can be a musician, but they can also be an artist, an orator, a writer, a dancer. That's in the PHP now, I think. Did that dancer class get in here? Glamour is, you're hot. The bard of being hot. College of Dance, there it is. Valor is just like, you're good at fighting. The bard of the gladiator arena. I don't know, man. I'm not a bard. Wait, I already said I was a bard. Fuck. I'm a College of Eloquence bard. Can't you tell? Because I am a writer, I would like to give a quick shout out to Daggerheart, because their 2 bard subclasses are musician themed and the wordsmith, which I appreciate. Oh my god, the heat is getting to me. By the way, if you'd like to see the same kinds of videos for Daggerheart, let me know down below. I think that'd be really fun. The game seems very, very fun. I just wish I had friends to play it with. Anyways, the bard. Now, my idea for the bard was really a lot more of this idea of recapturing an image in your head when you take a drink. The ideal image of the bard in my head is them in the tavern, playing a song, telling a story, rousing the patrons, everyone having a grand old time, truly a one-man party who makes you feel at home no matter where you are. And so the idea kind of blended together into this sort of punch bowl vibe that would be very sweet and have a lot of those fruity flavors to make you feel like you're having a party in a glass, but not necessarily fruit juice sweet. We're not talking tiki drinks, pineapple juice, cranberry juice. No, we want more kind of muted, comforting fruity flavors. And so taking the idea from, well, at least the 2014 PHB's image of a bard being a halfling, and also that halfling bard we all know, and the fact that halflings are inspired by hobbits, and hobbits also having that very much heart of the party vibe to them, and very much that feeling of making you feel at home wherever you are, and the hobbits coming across. I have not read that much of the Lord of the Rings before I say this, but the Brandy wine bridge, we have Brandy, as well as, in that same kind of vein of a very sweet drink, Amaretto, because that almond gives simultaneously a very cherry flavor, but still a lot of that more wholesome round feeling that we're looking for. But of course it needs to be a taller drink. It's gotta fill a mug at the tavern. We're not having rocks glasses here, so we need to top it with something. And beer is just not really the vibe for a party. But you know what is, and what goes with these? A nice wholesome cider. And so that was where it started. Simultaneously sweet, fruity party flavors, but also those nice wholesome round flavors to make you feel like you're around the hearth having a grand old time with your friends. And I felt like I was onto something already, which was only helped by the fact that Puncheons and Flagons has a drink that uses brandy and amaretto called almond brandy. So I felt like I definitely was on the right track in doing what I was doing, so we're gonna do that. Now, this is admittedly going to have a little bit of experimentation going on, because I did try this last night on stream alongside the other two drinks we're gonna do tonight. By the way, I do stream just about every Friday at least, and oftentimes it does include trying out drinks that are going to be in video, so if you would like to see more of the behind the scenes, more of that experimentation, more of the thought process, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, all those things, so that you don't miss any of those streams. They're a grand old time where I get drunk, or I play video games, or I do both. Who knows? Maybe I'll play D&D on stream one day. Probably not. Still don't have friends. With that reminder, I need to make this drink so that I stop being sad. We are going to start with 1.5 ounces of brandy, 3/4 of an ounce of amaretto. All right, here's the experimentation part. I've got some bitters here. The almond brandy in Puncheons and Flagons tells you to add, it just says bitters, it means Angostura, as well as lime juice. We'll see about that. Lime juice kind of threw it off last night. That's kind of why I want to experiment more. So I want to see if part of the problem was that my idea was to add in a bit of orange and cherry bitters to add a little bit more fruitiness to it. Let's find out. How much do I want to steal from this book is the problem. I guess I should try it with a little bit of this. That's it. It's the apple cider. The apple cider does not like the lime juice. I think I'm right. The problem is, how much of this did I pour out? Alright, fuck it. It's a bard. We're having a party. We're just gonna blind pour maybe 1/2 of an ounce more of that, 1/4 of an ounce more of this. I'll fix the balance later, I don't care. And then 2 dashes cherry bitters, 2 dashes orange bitters. Get some ice. Now, if you're not American, cider to you just means what we call hard cider. It just is alcoholic, at least from what I understand. If you are American and you don't want to use hard cider, you probably up these a little bit more, do about 2 ounces of brandy and an ounce of your amaretto. Up to you. But the sparkling aspect is certainly going to help the party vibe. How you serve it is more up to you. I'm going to go ahead and just do it up, not put in the ice, because I think it'll look better. Top that with your hard cider. And you know what? Let's throw a Luxardo cherry in there for good measure. And there you have your bard, a.k.a. a tavern party. Why not? That's freaking delicious. gosh darn, that's really good. I probably should have said that the reason I wanted to do cider also was slightly inspired by the Bardic Breeze, another drink I made on the channel for Venti from Genshin Impact, who famously loves apple. And so feeling like doing apple juice in that video was kind of maybe the wrong play. I don't know, it tasted great, but it felt like it should have been cider. You know what I mean? Either way, I wanted to kind of rectify that because I do feel like cider is a very bardic drink. A bard probably doesn't want a beer that is much more of a barbarian thing. A bard wants something lighter, something sweeter, something that'll make you feel like you're having a good time. And so I wanted to rectify that, and this is certainly doing so. Every flavor is kind of blending together. It's one of those drinks. Everything has formed into this perfectly sweet flavor. It is not too sweet, as I like to often say on this channel, because I don't really like too sweet. I don't like things that are too sugary. I'll be honest, if I finish this, I'd probably feel that way. As much as I love cider, it has gotten into that kind of too sweet territory where after I finish one, I just feel so heavy. All of those flavors are so perfectly matched that the moment you think of one, that's what you get. The moment you want one, that's what you get. Like requesting your favorite song from your bard. I would say, in my tasting, cherry's more up front, then you get this orange little stretch in there, followed by the cider and the brandy, that deeper finish. I will say I am certainly transported to that exact image in my head. The bard is hopping around on tables, singing and playing, while everybody's shouting and having a grand time. It's great. Simultaneously feeling like you're at home and feeling like you are amongst a large group of raucous and rowdy friends. If a beer is a frat party and wine and bourbon is a cocktail party, this is the Tavern Party. This is the punch bowl in a glass. It almost makes me feel like I should sing. No. We're still not doing that. I don't care how drunk I get. Okay, actually, if you get me drunk enough, it might happen, but this is so fucking good. Simply put, it is that. It is so fucking good. I'm a bard, so I get final say on this. That is a sign of good times. It is a sign of good faith. It is a sign of brotherhood and fraternity, or sorority, if you happen to be of that inclination. Regardless, it is a sign of camaraderie. It is a sign of the bard. Alright, what better way to end this drunken, disastrous mess of a video than with the Cleric. Please, cleansing light of the Cleric, heal me because I am a fucking train wreck. Now, when I thought about the Cleric, something came to mind instantly that I thought was a really good idea and was really funny and a good joke and a good pun, blah 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 blah. And both Dungeon Meister and Puncheons and Flagons used a sort of version of this drink, and I think both of them fucked it up. Sorry, Wizards of the Coast. You should have been more original. That is right, both of these have a drink called the Necromancer, and both of them are takes on the classic pre-prohibition cocktail, the Corpse Reviver No. 2. That makes sense, right? No! Yeah, sure, necromancers revive corpses, fine. But the Corpse Reviver? The Corpse Revivifier? It was right there the whole time. No? Both of you thought of liches before clerics? Well, I'm sorry, Dungeon Meister and Puncheons and Flagons. You're wrong. Oh my god, I'm very toasty. Holy shit. My point being that clerics also bring people back from the dead. The Corpse Reviver is already a very light-colored drink, which makes sense for the cleric's light theme, but I really can't make it more clear than Corpse Revivifier was right there, and both of you fucked it up. And yes, I get it, technically Revivify is a school of necromancy spell, and both of them are called the Necromancer, but Corpse Revivifier was right there. Whatever, we're gonna rectify that right now. Because, obviously, we were already at Corpse Reviver No. 2. How do we twist it? Well, my first idea was to then do a take on an espresso martini, which both of these books also have. It's a really simple cocktail. I can't really blame them for that. But the coffee and the coffee liqueur would make the drink way too dark for what we're doing, in my opinion. Because there is Death Domain Clerics, there is Trickery Domain, there's Shadow Domain, whatever. When you think of a cleric, you're thinking thinking of bright, holy light. Get off my back, D&D nerds. And so I thought, well, what is something else that has caffeine in it for that idea of a revivification not only being reviving from the corpse reviver, but also energizing from the coffee. And I thought that with gin and Lillet Blanc and Absinthe and lemon juice, there's something else that's very herbal, that's full of caffeine. Typically the thing that people switch to when they want to get off coffee, and I don't really know why. Get over yourselves, hippies. And that's tea. That about sums up my thoughts on tea. But it's gonna make sense. Sweet tea in here is gonna be very, very good. I'm very excited for this drink, and I'm too drunk to have any more of a preamble. And so, Corpse Revivifier. I have so much more I have to do tonight. We're going to start with about 4 mint leaves. This is more for the tea aspect than the corpse reviver part. Now the nice part about a corpse reviver number 2 is that it is a cocktail with equal parts. 3/4 of an ounce of gin. Your gin of choice. What's not as much of a choice is Lillet Blanc, 3/4 of an ounce. 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And I meant to muddle this. Muddle the mints and everything you have there. Let's go get some ice. Give that a shake. And before you pour it in, don't forget the most important part of a corpse reviver number 2. Pour some absinthe into your glass. Give the glass a quick rinse. Pour that out. Strain your drink into your glass so that you don't get all that mint. But then actually add more ice. Actually, if we're being honest, I should put ice in here to begin with. And finally, top it with some sweet tea. Finally, hand the drunk man a knife. And garnish your drink with a lemon wedge. And there you have your Cleric, A.K.A. your Corpse Revivifier. Oh my god. That is so fucking delicious. I fucked it up so much last night with the creme de menthe. That's fucking phenomenal. That is divine. That is exactly what I needed after the other 2 drinks we've had tonight. It is crisp. It is refreshing. It is delightful. Let me add a little extra garnish that I forgot to do. I'm gonna add a little mint sprig in there, because I should have to begin with. Because it is so perfectly prominent in here. Oh my god, that on the nose. Oh, that makes it. I mean, it was made already, but that snaps it all together. The herbal element of the gin is matching perfectly with the sweet tea the exact way I wanted it to. And the lemon juice in there is getting into Arnold Palmer. The Lillet Blanc is just making it just dry enough to match the sweet tea. The fucking mint is crisp as all hell. It matches perfectly with the absinthe rinse. As much as I hate tea, that legitimately might be one of the best things I have ever made. And I don't know, I'm drunk as hell right now, but I can't picture a person who would say no to that. Make a picture of that, and not a soul would turn it down. That's a drink that would get me to go to church. I don't care what your God is, you hand me that, I'm there. That is a healing liquid. If you are too drunk, like some people might be at some times, and it's too hot, like some people might be at some time, that is going to pull them back down. It is not aggressively strong. It is not aggressively sweet like most drinks. It is exactly what I needed right now. That is a healing word. That is lay on it. That's Paladin. That is other cleric spell. Oh my god. It's hard to say a lot about that. Kind of like with the Bard, every flavor is blended perfectly, but in a different way. Whereas with the Bard, you could spot every flavor you wanted to. In this, they're just matched perfectly together. It doesn't even really feel like there's alcohol in there. I mean, you can see if you know what to look for, where the Lillet Blanc and the gin and the anise and the absinthe, they're pulling it a little bit more crisp, a little bit more dry from the sweet tea and the lemon juice that are trying to make it super sweet. This is casting a divine light upon my body and healing every wound the Barbarian and the Bard did. Alright, I need to end this video, and so I will. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a blast to make. Shocker! I got really drunk over the course of 2 hours, and I had 2 really good drinks and a boilermaker. Honestly, that boilermaker wasn't even all that bad, which is why I was able to chug it. This though, holy shit. I'm not joking, this might be one of the best things I've ever made. This is phenomenal. Alas, that is all we have time for, so if you would like to see the other D&D classes, please like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things, and share this with everybody you know who loves D&D, who loves Baldur's Gate, who loves a good cocktail, because doing so is a massive help and a massive inspiration. Get it? In me making more of these videos and making your favorite class into a drink in the future. I would really like to keep doing this. I really like D&D. This was a very fun time. Please give me an excuse to make more of these videos. Make this one do well. If we're being honest, non-VTuber videos don't do great on the channel. That's just kind of the audience I've built. So if you are someone who doesn't really care for D&D or know about it, and you happen to get through this entire thing, thank you. And if you do like D&D and you got through this entire thing, thank you. That's it. I'm way too drunk for any better of an outro than this. It's a good thing I have a high con score. Okay, bye.